Hello, I am Abby, I am Top Knot Stitcher. This is Oscar Pepper. I bribed her up here with treats and catnip just for you all. So feel free to ignore me and just look at how cute she is, because that's all I do. She's so cute. She's probably going to move soon because I got her a new cardboard scratcher and she likes to just lay on top of it like it's the comfiest bed in the world. I don't know. Let's fix that hair that's flying around. How's everybody doing? I've missed you. I have so much to tell you. So much has happened in the last month. So much craftiness, so much friendshipness, so much stitchiness. It's great to be back with you. I gotta move, hold on, I gotta move this window so I don't just look at myself the whole time. I mean, I will look at myself the whole time, but then I won't be looking to the side. There we go, nice and center. Ah! How are you doing? How was your day? How was your weekend? How was your week? I hope it was excellent and filled with stitchy goodness. I don't even know where to start. We have a lot to talk about because it's been a while and I had a lot happen this month. I guess let's jump into it. Today I'm going to share life updates and stitchy events. I'm going to talk ornaments. I'm going to show you a finish. Oh, I have a finish. I'll have to go grab one from the living room in just a minute. I have two finishes. I have a new start that I'm going to try to do before Christmas, which seems very foolish, and some other new thrifty goodies. I got some stuff in the mail. Whoa! She is not a jumper. That was impressive. Maybe she'll come back. I got some stuff in the mail. I have a lot of like 2018 goals to talk about a little bit. I have maybe a book to talk about. We'll see. Let's back up. General life updates. My life is good. My life is really good because I got Birdie to start cross-stitching. So if you follow me on Instagram, Top Knot Stitcher, you may have seen a few updates and seen my extreme excitement over this. I have been gently encouraging, but trying not to push, her to start cross-stitching for a while. She learned as a kid, I think, but didn't do very much. And she was very much in the camp of like, I don't really want to stitch because there's nothing that I really want to make. And that was fine. I accepted it. And then a few weeks ago, we were talking about Christmas, and she has a large family, and so she was trying to figure out what she could get her family for Christmas. And since she's in school, she's got, you know, a more limited budget, so she was trying to think meaningful but not expensive. And she ended up finding a couple little cross-stitch things, and she showed it and was like, would you be able to make this? And I said, no, but you could make this. And then she let me teach her how to stitch. I know. She was really shocked at how easy it was. It's pretty straightforward, especially the projects that she's making. I'll show you one of them. Pretty simple, just some text and a couple little designs, nothing crazy. But I'm really hoping that she'll stick with it. She has been enjoying it as like a relaxing activity on the weekends, or sometimes she has a break between her job and her night school, so sometimes she stitches in between. So I'm hoping I can, my goal for 2018 is to find the thing that she would want to stitch for herself. Or something else she'd want to stitch for, she can stitch it for someone else. That's fine, whatever gets her started. So I've been keeping my eyes out for what that might be. So far, of all the things that I've acquired, there's nothing that's made her want to stitch, but we'll get there. If you have ideas of like what was your gateway piece, please let me know. I'm gonna move this. This is her. This is Meow Meow's fish that she got when I adopted her. And we put catnip on it and she loves it, so I'm gonna throw it behind you all so she can enjoy it over there. In case you care. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, Birdie is stitching! Yay! So I asked if I could show one of the projects she's making. I helped her chart this out, but she came up with the vision and made it into this lovely thing. So she's doing one of these for each of her sisters. Ah, look at that! Is that not so cool? So it says, "Come and paint the world with me tonight," which is a line from, from a song from Kesha's new album, and it's a beautiful song, and it's a beautiful piece. So this one is done, and we're gonna do a hoop finish and add some fabric to the back of that. I'm so proud of her. I'm so impressed. I'm so excited for her. She's got one other design still to make, and then she's ready for Christmas 2017. So she actually inspired me to think cross stitch for one of my Christmas gifts. So I'll get to that in a little bit. Before we do that, let's see what other life updates I have. I went to my first meetup with the NorCal Stitchers, and it was amazing. I had missed the last couple things that they had done, but I was stoked to be able to attend this one. We did a little meetup at one Stitcher's house and a little potluck, and just went through her entire stash and oohed and awed over everything, and it was so much fun. It was a delight. They're all amazing. It was the best day, and it was the best. Michelle even gave us a little party favor, so it was just the best. It was the best day. If you don't have stitchy friends, find them. Go find them. They're there. They're somewhere, and you can hang out with them and have your life changed, because they were so sweet and so welcoming and so happy to meet me. It was the best. I walked in and they shouted my name, and they all knew me and I knew them, and they looked and they were real. Oh, it was so much fun. So I'm excited to get to see them again, hopefully soon, and talk stitching and life and cookies. Oh, Elena brought cookies. I'm trying to figure out how I can be adopted to be another, like, could I just be Abby B? I'm interested. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll jump in there. I can be part of your family. Let me know. It was the best. What other big events happened? Oh, I went to, this is all out of order from my month. Not that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be a little jumbled today because I'm trying to do this before the sun goes down, because otherwise I will probably wait till next week because I don't have good lighting anywhere to do this otherwise. Okay. Abby, slow yourself down. You're fine. Last weekend, I went with one of my friends to this DIY night. There was a craft fair going on, or like a arts fair. I don't know what the name of it was. It was a lot of local artists setting up booths, and you know, you walk around and you buy gifts, and it's really cool. But 2 days before they actually had their fair, they had a little DIY night where you paid $10 to make 20 DIY crafts that you could make and give away to people. And it was awesome. So we went, I went with a friend of mine. We got there right as soon as it opened, and we shut the place down and made as many crafts as we could, and managed to make all the ones that we really wanted to, including a couple of them we made twice. So it was well worth the $10, and it was just really fun to do some familiar things. Like we made like a body scrub, like a sugar scrub, and we made bath salts. That's cool. That's cool. But I did new things like these block prints. Oh, I made that. I mean, I didn't make the design. It was already there, but I painted it. And this ornament. So I got a set of cards that I can give out. I made this notebook, sewed it together myself. I felt very accomplished because I knew how to sew. It wasn't that hard, but I still felt very proud. But how fun is that? I made this ornament. I made a leather stamped ornament. I tried to make it look kind of cross-stitchy, but I could have done my spacing a little bit better. But still, it was so fun. What else did we make? We made a little teeny tiny terrarium. Did a couple other little painting things, a lot of cards, some silk screened wrapping paper. I made an ornament of a cat. I don't have it right now, it's getting fired, but I'll have it soon. I'll post a picture on Instagram. I made it for that one behind you. What else do we make? I don't know. It was just really fun. It was so much more fun than I thought, and it was less crowded than I thought, so we didn't actually have to like wait in line too much, which was nice, because I was envisioning going in and being able to make like 2 or 3 things, but we made all the things. So it was a lot of fun. And then we got to see the Christmas tree lighting, which was a little underwhelming because you just flip a switch, so I didn't quite get it, but it was pretty. And we all cheered, and that was nice. What other events happened to me this week? I went to, over the week of Thanksgiving, I mentioned probably in my last video, Birdie and I went to, I wasn't able to go home for Thanksgiving, and neither was she, so we decided to go to this monastery in Big Sur, California, that we have both been wanting to go to for a really long time. And I had been kind of putting it off because I was a little intimidated to drive by myself. You know, it's not that far away, but it's like a 3.5 hour drive on twisty, turny roads that recently had a big rock slide. Anyway, we went and for 2 days went to this silent retreat, and it was amazing. If you ever have the opportunity to do something like that, I highly recommend it. It was so calm. It was so peaceful. It was 2 days of silence, 2 days of no internet. It was absolutely gorgeous. So we stayed in a house where you had your own private room and private garden, and it looks out over the ocean and was absolutely stunning. And then there was a little like shared kitchen area, and all meals were covered, and they had a couple hiking trails, and then it's a Benedictine monastery, so you could go to all of their church services. And I'm not Catholic, but we went to a few because they were beautiful. The acoustics in that chapel and the monks singing, it was so beautiful. So I feel really, really grateful and blessed to have had that experience. It was so calm. It was so calm. Like I said, it was silent, and so I did a lot of just like sitting and looking at the ocean and thinking and praying, and it was lovely. I did bring some music and some podcasts. I brought some stitching, and I brought a book, but I tried to give myself as much quiet time and as much Jesus time as I could get. And it was just really, really lovely and such a great rest. It was beautiful. So I don't have pictures to show you. On my Instagram, I've posted one, and maybe I'll post more if I get it together. But this is a card that I bought. This is a painting by one of the monks. And this is basically the view from my window, more or less. So, yeah, it was gorgeous. Everything was gorgeous. The moon was so bright and beautiful, and the stars. I went out both nights. I went out in my garden and sat in the dark looking up at the stars, listening to some music on my headphones because it was silent. And I was very impressed. Everyone was actually silent. I was nervous people wouldn't respect it, but they did. It was completely unbelievably amazing, and I'm really, really glad that I went. Verdi and I did, like, we would go into each other's garden and like whisper to each other, and we went to all of the services together, and we took a little hike where you were allowed to talk once you were a certain distance away. But for the most part, we kind of hung out on our own, and I just did lots of reading and lots of thinking, and it was so nice. I don't have the words to describe how beautiful and restorative it was. How about that? It was very restorative. What am I doing with this? I feel all out of sorts, but that's okay. You guys are cool with it, right? Okay. Let me settle down. Let me tell you about one more event that I did this month. Last night I went over to a little Christmas caroling event that someone at my church hosts every year, and there's like a big potluck, and you eat and you drink hot chocolate and you sing Christmas carols, and it sounded really cheesy to me, but it was not at all. It was so much fun. It was just so joyful and wonderful and cozy, and we had a blast. We sang like a nice mix of everything from Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to the classics, Angels We Have Heard on High, and all those, and I've had Here We Come a Wassailing stuck in my head ever since, which I'm okay with, but it's been a little distracting. But it was just so much fun, and I was expecting to enjoy it, but I absolutely loved it, and I want to host that party. That's what I want to do when I grow up, is host Christmas parties that make people cry. That's my goal in life. Okay, that's enough of me talking about my life. Let's start talking stitching. 16 minutes in, that sounds like great timing, right? Oh, I'm going to talk about a few similar things first. Thank you all so much for your comments on my last video, including those of you who helped chime in. If you recall, I talked about how I wanted to think of something creative to do with this wooden piece, and I settled on like a Christmas Carol text of some sort, and so many of you chimed in with your favorites, and thank you so much. I did go ahead and draw a name, and I'm sending the angel charts to Donna. I've already contacted her and mailed them because I had a bunch of other stuff going out in the mail this week. I have not yet decided what I'm going to do with this, but I did decide to wait until next Christmas because I started another big project that I'll show you in a minute. But I just wanted to let you all know, thank you very much. The angels are going out. And I'm waiting on that. I do have a couple ideas that I might do. I was even thinking, I mean, it's too big, but I was thinking I could put the bottom part of House of Cooking on this. Like, not the whole house wouldn't fit, but if I just did the bottom room, but I already stitched the top rooms. I don't know. It's a problem for later. So, thank you so much. Looking at my notes here, what are we going to talk about? Okay, let's transition to talking about some finishes. I sent out my Flosstube ornament swap last week, and my person has received it, but I know that she is probably filming her video right now, so I will let her reveal it. But if you're curious to see it, you might want to go check out a certain mother-daughter duo, and I'll post a picture of it at some point. It was a lot of fun to make. I had a blast making it. Along the way, I made a couple ornaments in trial and trying to decide what to do. I started and stopped a lot of different designs, and then I landed on the one that I actually made her. And part of that was because I couldn't figure out how I wanted to finish them. But along the way, I made this little snowman. This is a Lizzie Kate Tiny Tidings. I don't know what number it is. I have it somewhere probably. That I stuck in a little pillow. This is like one of those pre-made pillows that you just stick the piece in. And I added a ribbon, and now it can hang on the tree. And I'm very pleased with that. This is my first ever ornament. And I think it turned out great. Set him up there. I have to go get the other finish really fast, and so I'm going to pause you and I'll be right back. You won't even notice. I'm back! I made it! So last time I showed you and talked about my plans for my Advent animals instead of the traditional ornaments or giant wall hanging, I decided, no, not for me, I'm going to do my own thing, and I made this! Look at that! I am so proud of how this came together. These are 4 of our top favorite animals from the series put into a little grid, merry and bright. Oh, so good, so good. I did calculate it a little bit wrong, so I had intended for this to be able to fit in an 8x10 frame. And because of that, I took a risk with my fabric, and I did not have a lot of margin for error, and it was just over 8 by 10. So I ended up doing it as a little flat fold, got some red felt on the back, and just made it into a little hanging. And I'm pretty pleased with that. It will have a companion piece soon. I need to get a different ribbon because it's a little underwhelming, but it's what I had, so it works for now. And I'm just really, really proud of this. And I highly recommend that you think outside the box for those Advent animals. You do not have to stitch all 25. Or if you do, you don't have to stitch all 25 in the way you were told. You do you. So I've started the second one. I will show you, because I could show you right now. I started the second one, but I haven't gotten too far, and I've switched to working on something else, so it will not be finished in time for this Christmas, but we'll do next Christmas, and that's fine. These are our 4 favorite animals, by far. I want to say that I've done 1.5 of them, but we're going to find out right now. Oh, I've done 2.5. Wow, I forgot. So this one will say Holly and Jolly. We have the hedgehog and the polar bear all done. Elephant is getting close, and then the last one is my very favorite. It's the cow, and she's holding a plate of cookies, and I love her. So I'm really excited about these. I might actually, if I stitched on it this week, I could finish it. No, I'm not going to stitch on it right now because we have that one and it's great. We'll see. We'll see. I'm very, very happy with it. So this is basically what I've worked on for the last month. Well, yeah, I've worked on those for the last month. I also, when I went on my retreat, I took one project with me, and I only worked on it for a few hours, like a couple hours each night after I had looked at the stars. It was, you know, like 7:30, and I thought, well, it's too soon to go to bed, and what do I want to do? I want to stitch. So I listened to some podcasts and worked on this piece, and it was perfect for like a quiet meditative piece. It's ink circles, chalkboard mandala. How perfect for a silent retreat, a mandala. So I don't have a picture of what this used to look like, but it was probably half that size, and it's coming together quite nicely. I'm stitching this on Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, I think. Slate or something like that. In the called for thread chalk, which is just white. So I should have just gotten DMC, but whatever. It's pretty. You can't really see any variegation, but it's cool. So that was a lot of fun to work on, and it will also be on hold for a little while, but I am hoping to bust it out quickly. I might take this one on the plane with me when I fly home for Christmas, because it would be a great simple project. We'll see. I haven't actually flown with stitching before, so I'm excited to try that out. If you have any plane advice, please leave it down below. That would be very helpful. So I worked on my chalkboard, and then the other thing that I did this week, besides my ornaments and my advent and my chalkboard, I made a really impulsive Christmas decision. I have a father who is essentially impossible. I have to go across the room a little bit. I'm going to keep talking. He's impossible to shop for. He's the kind of person who doesn't really want much beside books, and he buys his own books all the time, so it's very hard to keep up with what he might want to receive as a present because it's very likely he already owns it. And I love giving books. They're every year. My mom, dad, and sister get a book from me, and then pretty much everyone else in my life gets a book from me. So I will be getting him a book, but I was really, really hung up on what in the world am I going to do for my dad, because I want to give him something lovely, because I love him, but it's very challenging. So I started thinking, because Bird was cross-stitching for her family, I was like, wait a minute, could I cross-stitch something for my family. And I asked around on Stitch Mania for favorite Navy or America related pieces because he was in the Navy and he loves America. And that's not really my wheelhouse. I mean, I love America, but I don't pay a lot of attention to the patriotic patterns. So I was kind of stuck. And then one lady, Tracy, maybe? No, Pam. Pam or Pamela. I don't remember, but I don't think she watches me. If you do, hi Pam, thank you so much. She commented a picture of a piece that she had done, and I immediately thought, oh, that is perfect. Oh, I was going to see if I have the actual, yes, okay, so here's a picture of the actual pattern itself. It's an eagle and a flag combo. This is a terrible picture of what it will actually look like because I'll show you what I have done in a second. Not accurate. But she had also done hers on patriotic printed fabric of the Constitution, which you may have seen on some Lady of the Flag pieces. And I thought, oh, that's great because it's less to stitch. Oh, it's huge. I didn't realize how big it was. I mean, I knew because it said the size, but I didn't process it. And it's a full coverage eagle, but that's what I have done so far. It's it's like a 6-page pattern and only 1 page is like the whole thing is stitching, and it's that page that I've almost done. So I feel like that's a great start. I've been working on this basically nonstop since Thanksgiving. I ordered this chart and fabric from Stitchery Express on Facebook, and they were great. I was really nervous that it was going to take a long time to get, but I placed my order, and within like 10 minutes, I had received and paid my invoice, and then like an hour later, I got a shipping notification, and then a few days later, this showed up. So I'm a huge fan of them. And I'm a big fan of this piece. I think it's going to be amazing, and I think he's going to love it. I don't think I will finish it by Christmas, and that's fine. I'm fine with giving him a partially completed piece. I'm going to try to finish as much of it as I can. I would love if I could finish it before I fly back here, because then I could go with him to get it framed or pick out a frame. But I know he can take care of that just fine if I can't. And so I sent a picture of it to my mom and was like, do you think this is good? And she said yes, so I hope he really loves it. Because this is like a big piece. This is a lot of my life, so I really hope he fully appreciates that. But it's been a lot of fun to stitch. It's a lot of confetti, which I didn't realize because the pattern, or the picture, is very deceptively simple. No, that's all confetti. Especially this flag. So it's a little slow going at times, but it's been a lot of fun. I really love stitching for other people. It makes me very happy. And I'm trying to be really, well, I am very grateful for the fact that because by stitching for other people, I can stitch things that I do not want in my house, but are really fun to stitch. Like, I kind of like stitching this confetti. It's a little slow, but it's a lot of fun. So, I don't know. I'm happy with that decision. I wish I had made it about a month sooner, because now that's the only thing I'm working on, which I have enjoyed. I feel like having a deadline of some kind. My goal setting last month did not really work out for me, and so this has kind of become just my new singular goal, and it's been great. That's what I did this month. Let me see. I'm ready to start another sweatshirt. I haven't actually put stitches in it yet, but I don't have it here to show you. I haven't put stitches in it yet. I'm excited to get it started. It has to do with Harry Potter and cookies. As I hinted last time, it's going to be amazing. I have a friend who's giving me 2 sweatshirts tomorrow to put some little glasses on. So I'm excited to do that and spread stitchy sweatshirts everywhere. Everywhere. Michelle, it's been another month. Where's your sweatshirt? Do you need waist canvas? Because I can send you some. You let me know. I'll send you some supplies if you need them. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not leaving anything out because I am very likely to leave something out. Whips, whips, whips. Nope, I did all the whips. Let's talk plans, and then we'll talk about a couple new things and what I got in the mail this month. My plans for this next month are to stitch this eagle. Just nonstop. Oh, if you're curious, I don't think I said who this pattern was by, but it is by Cody Country Cross Stitch and Crafts. American Pride. I can give you the link if you need it. It's from Stitchery Express. You didn't need that information. Okay. Chill out. In December, I'm going to work on my eagle. I'm also planning to make the border for the class schedule Sal. I have not yet started that, but I do want to have at least the first couple boxes in place so that I'm ready for January 1st. Maybe that would be good to bring on the plane. If I like started it and then just did borders on the plane? Maybe. Probably not. I don't want to bring that home just to stitch borders. Whatever. I'm going to work on that. On January 1st, I'm going to start my Harry Potter class schedule, and I am going to start, I'm going to show you the chart, which I've lost. Sorry, I thought I was a lot more prepared than this. It was right there. On January 1st, I am starting And a Forest Grew. I am so excited for this piece. I saw recently that Drew of Weasley Studios is interested in starting this piece, and I'm very excited for that to happen because you know he's going to change every color in it, and it's going to look amazing. So, Drew, get on it, and can you make us a hashtag and all that? Because that'd be nice. You're good at that. A couple others have mentioned that they're starting it or that they have it and need to pull it out. So if you have this pattern, please join us because I am going to need some help, need some motivation because it's a pretty big piece, but I'm doing it very teeny tiny. So I have ordered, though not yet received, 25 count Stormy Cloud Lugana that I'm going to do it on. I showed a swatch in my last video and I think it's going to be amazing. And I'm so excited. So that's coming very soon. Ooh, and I can't wait. That's going to happen in 2017. Class schedule is happening in 2017. And even though I just talked about how much I love stitching for other people, another goal of mine for 2017 is to finish more pieces for myself. Because I don't have any cross stitch actually hanging up in my room. I have one finished piece that's in the bathroom. I have my finished Advent piece that stays out in the living room. I have two finished pieces that I've given to Birdie and they are in her room. And I have 0 pieces in here. So I feel like I really need to change that. And I do have a couple things that are finished but not framed, so I could fix part of that myself. But I really want to focus on stitching some things for myself as well. I have 3 Harry Potter projects in progress that I haven't touched, so maybe I'll pull one of those out. I have a lot of things I want to do. How do you do it all? Maybe I should do Stitch Mania this year. No. I'm going to stop rambling at you because I don't think this is productive. I'll work out more specific goals for you next time. Those are my plans. I also, have you all seen that Armada Designs, she released a little tiny Christmas stitch along, so you get a little tiny motif every day. It's very cute and it's very little and I really want to stitch it. But I also really want to have as much of that done as I can. But maybe I'll start that tonight. Who knows? Who knows? It's all cool. Let's talk about what I got in the mail. Because I can't even tell you how much I cried this week because you all are so sweet. I received a really lovely surprise package from one of the women who won my giveaway last month. And she sent me the sweetest letter. And I mean, I wrote you back, so I'm not going to say too much right here, but thank you so much. I was so honored to get to talk with you via pen pals, and it was just really beautiful and lovely, and I just had a lot of moments where I was like, Flosstube did this. I have all these people and they're great and we're part of each other's lives now, and I think that's beautiful. And she did not need to do this at all, but she sent me a few charts, a couple Santa, a kit and chart. So that's going to my plans for next Christmas for sure. And then she sent me what I've seen everywhere lately. Good Intentions by Kathy Barrick. So I am really excited to get to stitch this now. So thank you so much. Drew, can you help me change all the colors? Because I don't know how to do that, but I feel like this would love maybe some jewel tones. Drew, can we talk? Because I have a vision for this. I just can't actually make it happen. But I want to make this match my duvet cover, which is like red and navy and gold and green. I think that could work. I think maybe I could do that myself, but I've never done that. Anyway, thank you so much, Jenny. So I got that on Thursday, and I check my mail in the morning when I'm leaving for work because it often hasn't arrived by the time I get home in the evening. And I'm also carrying a lot of stuff, so sometimes I don't want to carry it. I mean, this logic is flawed because then I still have to carry it in at the end of the day. All you need to know is that I get my mail on my way out in the morning. So on Thursday morning, I pulled that out of the box and got to my car and then opened it and sat crying in my car for a minute because I was just so moved by how wonderful you are. And then I repeated that experience on Friday morning because on Friday morning I received my Flosstube ornament swap, or Flosstube Christmas swap. And I say that because Lisa, the Silver Stitcher, had me, and she did not send me an ornament. Oh, no. She sent me this beautiful piece. Oh, look at that. It's on a little tray. Isn't that amazing? And there's two. I feel like I won the Christmas swap. Lisa, you won. This is amazing. And it was so beautiful. She sent me the nicest little card and some tea and chocolates and some floss. Look how adorable she is. A little Christmas bouquet of floss. That's genius. So now I'm ready for all the Christmas stitching. I love this so much. I really love it, and Lisa, you're amazing, and thank you so much. And thank you to Drew for organizing this swap because it was so much fun to do, and I just love Flosstube. I just love you all. And I know I've said it about 50 times today, and I'm just being really repetitive in general today, but it's what I'm here for. You all are the best. So, oh, hi Meow Meow. You want to get down? She's hanging off the bed right now. Yeah, here we go. Come here. Oh, she does not really like being held, but come here. I don't usually hold her sitting on the floor, so she's not a fan. I do hold her up next to the tree because she really likes to, she loves sitting under the tree. And so sometimes I pick her up and I just hold her next to the tree so she can like smell and check out the top half that she doesn't really get to see. It's so cute. She's so cute. Oh, I love her. Okay, one last thing to share. Thank you for sticking with me through what I think is probably not my strongest video, but it's the video where I love you the most, so I just thank you for being here with me. I stopped at the thrift store, the like creative reuse thrift store this week, checking for cards because I realized I had a lot of stitchy thank you notes and things to write, and they always have a ton of stationery, like a ton, like a whole shelf, a whole bookshelf that's full of cards and envelopes, sometimes like whole packets of stationery, sometimes like really fancy cards that are sealed up, sometimes really outdated cards, sometimes old postcards. They have it all. So I went to check it out, and I grabbed a few things that I enjoyed. And it's always so stressful because I had no idea how much it was going to cost. So I didn't pick up as much as I could have. Lisa, the cat, is like very much into this piece. I haven't showed it to her yet, and she's loving it. She's rubbing her face against the corner. And now she's licking a ribbon. She's a huge fan. Anyway, I didn't know how much any of those cards were going to cost me because it wasn't marked anywhere, and some of the... Oh, no, she's biting it. Excuse me, this is mine. Some of the cards had, like, stickers from their previous lives, and I was like, I'm not paying $1 for this card. I'll pay less than that. And one of them was marked at, like, $5, and I was like, But luckily, I paid, like, $2 for a whole bunch of cards, so it was fine. And then I checked out all the crafty, fabric-y sections and didn't find any good cross-stitch stuff until I found a little bundle of books that was mercifully marked at $3, so that was a relief. I got this Christmas Portraits book. This is by Leisure Arts, book 3 of Christmas Remembered. And I bought it, I flipped through, and there was one that I liked, and it's the reason I bought it, and now I can't find it or remember what that reason was. So I hope I remember. But there's some like Santa ornaments, there's little, oh, shepherds. There's a lot of Santa Clauses, a Christmas angel, a bunch of angels. I like this one, Old World Traveler. So I figure there's something in here that I'll stitch, I think. Probably. Ooh, I could do that as my nativity. Probably not. We'll see. Happy to have it. And I didn't even realize stuffed inside of it were these 3 little leaflets. Well, 2 leaflets in a magazine. So I got Primrose Cottage and Morel, don't know, Cottage. I'm not going to stitch these, but keep an eye on my Instagram because I'll probably be giving away some charts in the near future to those who do want to stitch them. For the Love of Cross Stitch, this is from 1992, and I was so pumped because guess what's in here? Did you guess a cat? Because you would be correct. Hold on. Oh, a little cat Afghan. Look at her. That's not what my cat looks like, but we could make that work. We could darken all those colors up. We'll see. Oh, there's a cute little snowman. That's cute. She got it on a sweatshirt. She knows what's up. The snowman is hoping you'll have a happy holiday season. Man, I just love cross stitch. It's the best. I was telling a few people at the Christmas party the other night that since Bird went to hair school, I've been cross stitching a lot more, and they were all like, "Oh, like what do you make?" And I was like, "Well, you're probably picturing cross stitching from the 80s and 90s, and that is not accurate, but also it is a little accurate because I do love a lot of those patterns, and a lot of them are on my list." Anyway, I got another book along with it. This is Scandinavian Folk Patterns for Counted Thread Embroidery. This one did not really have anything that like really spoke to me, but it has an interesting history at the beginnings of counted thread embroidery that I'm excited to flip through. There's a chapter about folklore and counted thread. Talks about, I don't know, some other history things. And then there are some patterns in here. I wish there were more patterns that they showed in pictures at the beginning. But I'm trying to find like something like this. I could turn that into something, some snowflakes. That's kind of me. There's some little ornaments, some little stockings. Like, I'm not doing that, but that's nice. Oh, there's a little, like, mother and child for Mary and Jesus. There's a lot of these dolls. I don't know. Ooh! Look at that! Look at that dragon. That's cool. So I'm gonna flip through it and I'm gonna see, and maybe I'll turn something into something. I'm just excited to have some cross-stitch books and to have some cross-stitch history. Teresa, the kitten stitcher, who I think I shouted out in my last video. Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, gotta do a shout out. She talks a lot about stitching history and samplers and how cool they are, that they are a piece of cross-stitch history and just history in general. And so she's made me think a lot more about that and made me really want to stitch something more historic as well. So stay tuned for like maybe a year from now when I do that. Okay, we're almost out of time. Let me think really fast if I can be put together enough to give a shout out. I don't think I can be, and I apologize. I'll do that next time. I'll do 2 people next time. I've not been watching very much Flosstube lately because I've been watching Boy Meets World because it's on Hulu. I don't regret that. It's fantastic. It's very outdated. There are a couple things that are not funny, but there are so many things that are funny and just so, oh, I loved that show. I actually watched it the semester that I was doing my student teaching in college. I was watching that show and was able to draw a lot of connections between Mr. Feeney and my mentor teachers, and just really appreciated all that they had to show us and all that Mr. Feeney had to teach us about teaching as well. So if you're a fan of that, or if you're a fan of any 90s sitcom, they're all on Hulu right now. Life is good. Okay, we're going to wrap this up because I think I've been boring you. And I'm not apologizing for it. I'm just acknowledging it. I want to talk about a couple books really quickly. This book is one that I brought with me on this silent retreat and immediately thought, oh, I want to buy this for everyone I know, and was kind of frustrated that I had no internet, so I couldn't just order it all right then, but I have since ordered them and it's great, and I've already handed out a spontaneous one and I need to buy a replacement for the intended recipient. But anyway, this is Birdie Brown's newest book. It came out a couple months ago, Braving the Wilderness. Subtitle is The Quest for True Belonging and the Courage to Stand Alone. And it is beautiful. It's all about how true belonging is not about like fitting in or pretending you're someone you're not. It's about being vulnerable and being willing to be yourself. With like be yourself around people without sacrificing who you are or what you value. And it's beautiful, and I really appreciated the timing of being able to read this book. It's given me a lot of helpful language for my life, and if you are, I don't know, in your own wilderness of whatever form that might take, it's a great book. She is religious, but this is not a religious book. So there are like some mentions of it, but I think that anyone could appreciate this, and especially this year has just been so divisive and horrible. And this book is really helpful language for how to talk to people, even if they think differently than you do. So no matter what that might mean or look like in your life, I highly recommend this book. And if you are in my life, I'm probably giving it to you for Christmas. Oh, guess what? Guess what I did a few weeks ago? So, okay, since making these videos, I told my roommate and I told my mom, and I didn't tell anybody else. It was like a big secret because I was like, I don't understand this, and like, I don't, people are going to think this is weird. And then that urgency to keep it a secret went away, but this is for a very intended audience, right? So I didn't tell my sister about this because she was at a point where she was really annoyed with me talking about cross stitch all the time because I was being pretty annoying about it. And she just wanted to talk to me about, you know, real life things. Not that this isn't real life, but things we actually shared interests in. But I mentioned it to her a few weeks ago because I was telling her about my stitchy meetup, and I was like, oh, I met these friends on the internet, and she's like, that's weird, and I was like, well, actually, it's not really, because I kind of already knew most of them, kind of, because like I watched their videos, and also I make videos. And I was so nervous to tell her because I thought she might think it was really weird, but she thought it was so cool, and she was so excited and enthusiastic and like so supportive, and she asked if she could share it with a couple of her friends who she thought might be like that was really cool. And I don't know, it was awesome. It was not the reaction I was expecting at all, and it was really fun. And since then I've shared it with a couple other friends who have had similar reactions. I did share it with one friend who was kind of like, oh, okay. But I've gotten a lot of like, oh my goodness, you're so cool, which I feel like is not the typical response to, oh, I make YouTube videos and I talk about stitching to non-stitchers. That doesn't, it sounds weird. To me as a stitcher, it sounded weird at first. So I don't know. I just feel, along with like loving you all so much, I also love my friends and family so much because they've been so supportive and lovely. So if you're keeping your Flosstube a secret from anybody, don't tell them. I mean, tell them with caution. I'm not telling everyone I see, but I am trusting my closest friends with this information. And it's been a great move. So I feel very supported and loved. And thank you to everyone who I've told and you've shrieked with joy and been amazed by me, because I don't feel that amazing. But I don't know. I'm going to stop just repeating myself over and over again, I guess. Thank you for joining me. Please let me know down below if you have any stitching advice for the plane. Let me know, what was my other question I asked at some point? Oh, Drew, I'll message you, but I might need some help with this. If you can let me know, how do you do your color conversions, and what are your thoughts? I'm not going to stitch this immediately, so I have time to figure it out myself, maybe. Did I have anything else? I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, or whatever holiday you do or do not celebrate. I'm very excited to get to go home with my family for Christmas and see them in just a couple weeks. I'm excited. I love Christmas. Who doesn't love Christmas? See, this is the same thing. I just want to keep talking to you because I missed you all. If I can, I'm gonna do a video while I'm home, and show you my mom and maybe my sister. I don't think she would have any interest, but we'll see. And I guess that's it. I guess I'll say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. Happy stitching. Happy Christmas. I'll see you next time. I love you all. Bye-bye.